Hello, everybody. I hope you're having a good day. I wanted to read Zephaniah, but then I wanted to go into Haggai after that because I thought it was interesting. It's a call for Haggai to rebuild the temple. And if I remember correctly, Haggai was Abraham's original wife, which was of the Egyptian people and whatnot. So I don't know. Maybe that's just me. And if you remember correctly, that would mean the Africans, because through the Greeks they called them Egyptians, which just means house of bondage. So the word of who I am that came to Zephaniah, son of Cush, the son of Gedaliah, the son of Amariah, the son of Hezekiah, during the reign of Josiah, son of Amon, king of Judah. Judgment on the whole flesh in the day of who I am. I will sweep away everything from the face of the flesh, declares who I am. I will sweep away both man and beast. I will sweep away the birds in the sky and the fish in the sea, and the idols that cause the wicked to stumble. Now, interesting thing, I told you all that I had got away from this Bible for a long time and then started having like dreams and certain things revealed. When I say certain things revealed, I'm not trying to sound like one of those like tinfoil, like I'm basically saying the word and spirit has started to manifest and reveal certain things throughout time. And so I had a dream one time that I was in this house with random other people. It wasn't a bunch of people, it was other people. And there was little children there too, and there was an older woman there. I didn't recognize her, but she was like family or something. So then all of a sudden, we looked outside and there was this huge storm outside. It was like a twister or something. And it was tearing everything up. So we had got kind of scared. And there was this bed. It was huge bed. So then we like hid under the bed. Or no, while the twister was tearing everything up, we looked outside out the window and there was this huge train coming towards us. Like it flew the train like towards the house. So like, I don't know, my first instinct, we hid under the bed and everybody was starting to follow. And we felt like a boom. So then when we got from under the bed, the twister was over with and the storm and everything, and nobody was hurt. But the back of the house was like tore apart, just like a section of the back of the house with the train. And the train was like laying there lifeless on it. It felt like a big like serpent or something, but it was a train. So then we went out the front door for some reason, and everything else was like cleared, like a clear lane. It was like wow. But then when I go back and read some of these like prophets and these like poems and stuff and some of these words, it's like interesting that it feels like the same thing I deal with sometimes. When I destroy mankind's teachings and concepts from the face of the flesh, declares that which I am, I will stretch out my hand against Judah and against all who live in Jerusalem. I will destroy every remnant of Baal worship in this place, the very names of the idolatrous priests that are making y'all to worship all these random gods, those who bow down on the roofs to worship the starry host, those who bow down and swear by that which I am, and who also swear by Molech. Right? Molech Zedek, right? The matter of fact, I wanted to clear this up now. So like a lot of times when I come with receipts, because at first I didn't know what Zedek meant. So I looked at the word because everybody just kept Melchizedek. He's the highest order. Melchizedek, blah blah blah. And that would have been around the time of like Canaan in the ancient times, like 2000 and 2000 to 1000, so to speak. So I was like, what does Zedek mean, right? And when I looked this up and found this out, I was like, okay, a Jew, right? This is wild. But then when you look up what type of Jew and where it came from, the Czech Republic, Polish and European, right? So I'm like, okay, this can't be this. But we didn't have knowledge and information like that back in the day. So then you have the beginning of that word, Melech, Melchizedek. A Hebrew word that means king. He was the king of Sodom. He was the king of Canaan at the time. And the Assyrians and all these other people was beating his ass. So then, and the people around him. So then they got the Indus Valley involved. Brahma, this thing. The god, the Hindu or whatever. You got it's symbolic of saying you got a bunch of Hindus that went up and started flooding the land. Then they went to Egypt, the Hyksos, and it caused a bunch of other problems. So there's a subtle line of this stuff. You just got to look through the cosplay and understand what's going on. Who also swear by Molech because they were doing child sacrifice in the ancient days. They were. And they had to stop this stuff. It was like a plague. Those who turn back from following that which I am, and neither seek that which I am, nor inquire me. Be silent before that which I am. This is the same as the angel of fire telling Joshua to take off his sandals when approaching. This is the same when Moses went to the mountain and had to show these people because they were terrified of that which I am, if that makes sense. What wrote into the Ten Commandments? The hand of fire, right? From that which I am, from the heart. So then even when that happened, you look, when they say Moses destroyed stuff, I'm telling you, they took Moses' legacy and created a bunch of pharaohs. More receipts with the same internet browser. Watch this. Okay. You have right here a list of pharaohs, right? You have the mean armor. See, the first king came the farmer who tended the bread. Then you have Mentuhotep II. Remember around the 2000 Middle Kingdom, this is Mentuhotep II. He unified the kingdoms or whatever. Hold on, I gotta find his name because I don't want you guys thinking it was the other guy. Where is it at? See, the people known as Hyksos to gain power in Egypt around 2000. But this was after Mentuhotep II fixed the kingdom. I'm sorry, you're gonna have like a bunch of ads and stuff. He's somewhere here. I just want to bring the receipt so you guys know. Where's it at? Where's it at? First intermediate, which was means Narmer. And then you had Mentuhotep II. He's somewhere. Hold on. Second means. Okay, Mentuhotep II. He was the one that started the second period or whatever. He's like Abel. But as soon as he started the kingdom, and if you look 2600, that's when Muad appears in history, right? And then he brings the falcon, the two birds, during the flood. And so, look at these attributes, puffy cheeks, right? So these are the people in history that actually did things, and then they changed people's names up. Oops, I don't think I meant to do that. Yeah, I did not mean to do that. Or maybe I did. Okay, here we go. So then you have later down the line, when I bring this up, you have this man, Amos. This is where they got Moses from. Amos. He had to come back. Now, why is there a gap between between all this kingdom and then to the 1500? That's when the Hyksos invaded, and then Amos had to save everything again. Then you would have this man. Look at all these people taking his name. Tutmos, 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 Tutmos. People kept doing that throughout history until you have a Akhenaten trying to rebuild the temple. That's like Joshua. Look at these time frames. That's Joshua. So then you go down the line. Look at what Ramses did. You have all these Ramses. You're going to have Ramses appear, and that's like Goliath. They started oppressing people. Then all of a sudden, why is there a huge gap? When they said David couldn't build the temple, they wasn't playing. Because this man and his son, Sunesis, who was Sunesis. And if you don't believe me, you can add, this was the man that was actually buried in silver too. No. Akhenaten's son gold, this man silver. And so his child was Amenemhotep, the instructions of Amenemhotep. That's Solomon. If you don't believe this is the Star of David and all that stuff, this is where Dionysus, or Ado, what's his name? He's a Greek man. Pseudo Dionysus. Yes, here we go. The Greek man. When I told you, the Christian, this is where he got his name. I'm telling you all. So it all links back to the motherland, the truth, or I guess the motherland for me would be Russia because I'm like a little bit Polish and stuff. And then the fatherland would be Africa for me. That's just a little metaphor. You don't have to take that and go, oh, Africa's the father. It's a metaphor for me. So, and then this stuff with Nebuchadnezzar, interesting thing, Akhenaten, who tore down his father's temple and listened to An Haramhub, when that had happened, he died suddenly, but was buried in gold. Then Senesis was buried in silver. Then Nebuchadnezzar, at the time of bronze tubs and stuff, was buried in this bronze burial. It literally lived out. Like, this stuff is wild. So I don't. And what I like to tell atheists, they can't say it never happened because Yanez, or Yanni, however you say his name, came and was crucified. And then my name is Juannie, and I'm giving the same name. I am who I am. I am the Messiah. I am the King of Kings, and resurrected literally 2 days later. From the first century to 2000 to the 1900s, and then in the year 2000, I'm coming forth on the seventh day. So, yeah, for the day of who I am is near. And I looked at, okay, so JB, right? And I didn't get this name from religion. This name, and if you're interested about these names, I have if you go to my playlist, there's videos called From Egypt to America and Hated for Something Transliterated. There's spiritual and real knowledge and information in that stuff. So what was I about to, did J used to be Y? Yes, through the Romans, right? So then, or I, right? Yanez, or L. So then you look, did B used to be high V? Oops. Did the letter B used to be high V? I don't like going, I like to go to, here we go. In Greek, the Cyrillic alphabet was based on a medieval Greek in which the phonetic value of B had become V. So what I'm trying to tell you all is this happened through German too. It didn't just happen through the Greeks. I told you Greek and Germany have a lot of ties. The UK, the Greek UK and the Germans, the United Kingdom. So this is whoa, look at that. Look at the Israeli flag and the Greek flag. One is a star and one is a cross. There's a lot of same ties. So you have a lot of Europe that's Romance, French, and different Spain and stuff. Then you have the Greeks and the Germans, the Anglo-Saxons and Jutes. And so I transliterated my name and it came out to be Yahweh 6. And I was born on day 6. I was like, what the shit? And so even the gods, the Atum around 4000-ish and pre-dynastic period. Then you have Muad appearing, which is the 42 laws and all that, around 2600 after Mean Narmer, like I said. Then you have the Falcon appearing and all this, and then Yeshua appears, and then in written history with Mentuhotep II. But then you have later on down the line Mos with the Amun. And then you have Sunesis with the Amun and with the Minimot with the instructions and those laws. And they were building temples too, but they were all African. And don't forget about Akhenaten too, who they call Joshua. That's why his name is Netanyahu. He took Akhenaten's name and he took Yeho's name, Yeha, and he made Netanyahu. That which I am has prepared a sacrifice. So I didn't do none of that. These people wrote this stuff. And then Yanez appeared and lived through that stuff. That's why I'm telling y'all the crucifixion happened. This stuff happened in history, minus all the magical paganism. On the day that who I am, on the day of Yanez's sacrifice, I will punish the officials and the king's sons and all those clad in foreign clothes. On that day, I will punish all who avoid stepping on the threshold, who fill the temple of their gods. It's even written in each of the prophets how the kings took from the temples of that which I am and put in their temples, who fill the temple of their gods with violence and deceit. On that day, declares that which I am, a cry will go up from the fish gate, wailing from the new quarter, and a loud crash from the hills. Wail, you who live in the market district. All your merchants will be wiped out. This is basically just talking about how all the different religions, you see what they're doing to Judaism and Catholicism right now, and what they're doing to apologetics and Islam. All their concepts will basically be destroyed. At that time, I will search Jerusalem with lamps and punish those who are complacent, who are like wine left on its dredges, who think who I am will do nothing, either good nor bad. Their wealth will be plundered, their houses demolished, their concepts. Though they build houses on the seashore, they will not live in them. Though they plant vineyards, they will not drink the wine. The great day of that which I am is near, near and coming quickly. Here I am. The cry of the day of that which I am is bitter. They turned the waters bitter and was enslaving and destroying people, seductively and subtly, like they slick, trying to resurrect the Roman and Greek empires. The mighty warrior shouts his battle cry. That day will be the day of wrath, a day of distress and anguish, a day of trouble and ruin, a day of darkness and gloom, a day of clouds and blackness, a day of trumpet and battle cry against the fortified city. So look at this. And the third generation, from around 1,000 to 0, the prophets came. And in the fourth generation or how should I say, and the third generation from about 2,000 to 1,000, you see the Hyksos invaded and all that buffoonery was happening. And they was fighting that. That'd be like the third day. Then from 1,000 to 0, then at the end of that, Giannis was crucified, right? The third and fourth generation, the prophets and the apostles were getting crucified. Then on the fifth day, the day of wrath and the martyrs in the 144, from what happened when Rome started to spread and all those people were slaughtered. And then on the sixth day, when William Tyndale and Martin Luther King were both slaughtered, right, in the 1500s and in the 1900s. And then the two witnesses, I basically say the major ones, the Word and the Spirit, because William Tyndale literally wrote the book and prophesied and put Jehovah and Yahweh back in the book. And then Martin Luther King brought the Spirit and brought the dreams and stuff. And so then you have on the seventh seal and the seventh day, 2000s, here I am, the day of the Lord. I will bring such distress on all people that they will grope about like those who are blind, because they have sinned against that which I am, the Ten Commandments and the covenant and freedom. Their blood will be poured out like dust and their entrails like dung. This is basically talking about their concepts and their teachings and how they'll be mocked. Neither their silver nor their gold will be able to save them. In my time, this is what this is talking about. Because back in the day, they tried to live out the word in spirit and martyred and killed a lot of people through the papal, through the Byzantine, Protestantism, the English kings, through the Islamic Caliphate, through the Hindu and Indo-European rise of the Hindus and the Brahmahites, a lot of different people. And a lot of the corrupt Egyptian kings and African kings. In the fire of his jealousy and of my jealousy will the whole flesh be consumed, for he will make a sudden end to all those who live on the flesh and their lies and concepts. So now it would just be that which I am, and then I am choosing angels, if that makes sense. Not man's concepts and teachings. Judah and Jerusalem judged along with the nations. Judah summoned to repent. Gather together, gather yourselves together, you shameful nation, before the decree takes effect, and they that passes like that day passes like wind-blown chaff, before my fierce anger comes upon them, upon you, Judah. Before the day of my wrath comes upon you, seek that which I am, and you humble of the land. You will do what I command. Seek righteousness and humility. Love who I am with all your heart and soul, and others the same. Perhaps you will be sheltered on that day of my anger. Gaza will be abandoned and Ashkelon left in ruins. At midday, Ashdod will be emptied and Ekron uprooted. Woe to you who live by the sea, you Kerethite people. The word of that which I am is against you, is Judah and Israelis. Canaan and the land of Philistines, right? Isn't that symbolic? Stein is a German word, and yet they're all Steins. He says, I will destroy you, and none will be left, and your concepts and your ideas and your kingdoms you built. Not the people. I'm not a murderer. Thou shalt not kill. Follow the covenant. The land by the sea will become pastures, having wells for shepherds and pens for flocks. That land will belong to the remnant of the people of that which I am. There they will find pasture. In the evening they will lie down in the houses of Ashkelon, and that which I am will care for them. I will restore their fortunes. Moab and Ammon. I have heard the insults of Moab and the taunts of the Amorites, who insulted my people and made threats against their land. Therefore, as surely as I live, declares that which I am who I am. Surely Moab will become like Sodom. Thank you. And the Ammonites like Gomorrah. Literally, they have a Gomorrah and a Talmud, like it's over there in Canaan, like a place of weeds and salt pits, a wasteland forever. The remnant of my people will plunder them. The survivors of my nation will inherit their land. This is what they will get in return for their pride, for insulting and mocking the people of that which I am. That which I am will be awesome to them when he destroys all the gods of the flesh. Watch this. Now, you saw in the other video, the prophets are clearly saying, and the Greeks even admitted that the Africans were the beginning, but the prophets clearly saying that the Africans were the ones that was uprooted, the land of Cush and Nubia and all those other nations in Egypt and the other ones. It's back there in the prophets that I just showed in that video.
Juannie Shore, an Israeli consul general. So just to give a little alliance with Israel, so it's disturbing to hear these comments. Watch this.
The problem of Israel is with the young generation of the black community. Black Lives Matter starts there.
So us saying our life matters and then blaming us as a community after what y'all know what happened in America, they're Nazis. That's what I'm trying to teach people and show y'all, that they're a bunch of fakers and they're the synagogue of Satan. Since they mocked my people, right? And made slave ships and sold slaves, and now they're trying to pretend to be Jews, but we know they're Germans and Europeans. This is what they will get in return for their pride, for insulting and mocking the people of that which I am. That which I am will be awesome to them when he destroys all the gods of the flesh. Distant nations will bow to me, and all of them in their own lands. You Cushites too, you will be removed by my word. I will stretch out my hand against the north and will destroy Assyria, leaving Nineveh. So look at that word Nineveh, right? I transliterated that. So you have Yahweh, right? That's basically 9. What else is 9? 9. And then Ve. 9 Ve. Another way of saying no Ve, no way, the Germans will be stopped. Utterly desolate and dry as the desert. Flocks and herds will lie down there, creatures of every kind. The desert owl and the screech owl will roost on her columns. Their hooting will echo through the windows. Rubble will fill the doorways. The beams of cedar will be exposed. This is the city of revelry that lived in safety. She said to herself, I am the one, and there is none besides me. What a ruin she has become, a lair for wild beasts. All who pass by her scoff and shake at her fists, Babylon. Woe to the city of oppressors, rebellious and defiled. She obeys no one. She accepts no correction. She does not trust in that which I am. She does not draw near to that which I am. Her officials within her are roaring lions. Her rulers are evening wolves who leave nothing for the morning. Her prophets are unprincipled. They are treacherous people. Her priests profane the sanctuary and do violence to the law. That which I am is righteous and does no wrong. Morning by morning he dispenses his justice, and every new day he does not fail. Yet the unrighteous know no shame. I have destroyed nations. Their strongholds are demolished. I have left their streets deserted, with no one passing through. Their cities are laid waste. They are deserted and empty. Of Jerusalem I thought, surely you will fear me and accept correction. Then her place of refuge will not be destroyed, nor all my punishments come upon her. But they were still eager to act corruptly in all they did. Therefore wait for me, declares that which I am. For the day I will stand up to testify. I have decided to assemble the nations, to gather the kingdoms, and to pour out my wrath on them, all my fierce anger. The whole world will be consumed by the fires that don't consume of my jealous anger. Then I will purify the lips of the peoples, that all of them may call on the name of that which I am, and serve me shoulder to shoulder. From beyond the rivers of Cush, my worshippers, my scattered people, will bring me offerings. On that day, you, Jerusalem, will not be put to shame for all the wrongs you have done to me, because I will remove you from your arrogant boasters. Never again will you be haughty on my holy hill, but I will leave within you the meek and humble. The remnant of Israel will trust in the name of that which I am. They will do no wrong. They will tell no lies. A deceitful tongue will not be found in their mouths. They will eat and lie down, and no one will make them afraid. Sing, O daughter Zion. Shout aloud, Israel. Be glad and rejoice with all your heart, daughter Jerusalem. That which I am has taken away your punishment. I am turned your enemy back. I have turned back your enemy. I am the King of Kings, and I am with you, and never again will you fear any harm. On that day they will say to Jerusalem, do not fear, Zion. They're not Nazis anymore. Do not let your hands hang limp. I am with you, the mighty warrior who saves. I am gracious salvation. I will take great delight in you, and my love will no longer rebuke you, but will rejoice over you with singing. I will remove from you all who mourn over the loss of your appointed festivals, which is a burden and a reproach for you. I promise it is. Oh, fucking makes me sick. At the time, I will deal with all who oppress you. I will rescue the lame. I will gather the exiles. I will give them praise and honor in every land where they have suffered shame. At that time, I will gather you. At that time, I will bring you home. I will give you honor and praise among the peoples of the flesh, when I restore your fortunes before your very eyes, says that which I am. Like the end of Diddy Kong Racing, when everybody's together at the platform and they're all waving in the congratulations, but then they're still playing and having a good time. And then I just wanted to read Haggai real quick. Cyrus, king of Persia. It's like all written here. You got. All right, so let's get this done. I call to build the house of that which I am. In the second year of King Darius, on the first day of the 6th month, the word of that which I am came through prophet Haggai to Zerubbabel, son of Shealtiel, governor of Judah, and to Joshua, son of Josedek, the high priest, the Jews of Yo. This is what who I am says. These people say, the time has not yet come to rebuild that which I am's house. Then the word of who I am came through the prophet Haggai. It is a time for you yourselves to be living in your paneled houses while this house remains in a ruined. I'm sorry, let me reread that. Is it a time for you yourselves to be living in your paneled houses while this house remains in ruin? Now this is what who I am says. Give careful thought to your ways. You have planted much, but harvested little. You eat, but never have enough. You drink, but never have your full. You put on clothes, but are not warm. You earn wages, only to put them in a purse with holes in it, and still not truly really have faith and be hollering to the sky, to the heart. This is what who I am says. Give careful thought to your ways. Go up in the mountains. Go to deep within your heart and bring down timber and build my house, so that I may take pleasure. Go up into the mountains and bring down timber and bring my house, so that I may take pleasure in it and be honored, says that which I am. You expected much, but see, it turned out to be little, nothing but war and stupidity and cosplay. What you brought home, I blew away. Why? Declares that which I am. Because of my house, which remains a ruin, while each of you is busy with your own house. Therefore, because of you, the heart have withheld their due, and the flesh its crops. I called for a drought on the fields and the mountains, on the grain and new wine, the olive oil and everything else on the ground, the ground produces, on the people and livestock, and on the labor of your hands. The Zerubbabel, son of Shealtiel, Joshua, son of Josadak, the high priest of the whole remnant of the people, obeyed the voice of that which I am, and the message of the prophet Haggai, because who I am has sent him, and the people feared that which I am. Then Haggai, who I am's messenger, gave this message to who I am's people. I am with you, declares who I am. So who I am stirred up the spirit of Zerubbabel, son of Shealtiel, governor of Judah, and the spirit of Joshua, son of Jozadak, the high priest, and the spirit of the whole remnant of the people. They came and began to work on the house of that which I am. On the 24th day, on the 6th month, the promised glory of the new house. And the 2nd year of King Darius, on the 21st day of the 7th month, the word of who I am came through the prophet Haggai. Speak to Zerubbabel, son of Shealtiel, governor of Judah, to Joshua, son of Jozadak, the high priest, and to the remnant of the people. Ask them, who of you is left who saw this house in its former glory? How does it look to you now? Does it not seem to you like nothing? But now be strong, Zerubbabel, declares who I am. Be strong, Joshua, son of Jozadak, the high priest. Be strong, all you people of the land, declares who I am, and work, for I am with you, declares who I am. This is what I have covenanted with you when you came out of the house of bondage, and my spirit remains among you. Do not fear. This is what who I am says. In a little while I will once more shake the heart and the flesh, and the sea and the dry land. I will shake all nations, and what is desired by all nations will come, and I will fill this house with glory, says who I am. The silver is mine, and the gold is mine, declares who I am. The glory of my present house will be greater than the glory of the former house, says who I am. And in this place I will grant peace, declares who I am. Blessings for a defiled people. On the 24th day of the 9th month and the 2nd year of Darius, the word of who I am came to the prophet Haggai. This is what who I am says. Ask the priests what the law says. If someone carries consecrated meat in the fold of their garment, and that fold touches some bread or stew and some wine, olive oil, or the food, does it become consecrated? The priest answered, no. Then Haggai said, if a person defiled by contact with a dead body touches one of these things, does it become defiled? Yes, the priest replied, it becomes defiled. Then Haggai said, so it is with this people and this nation in my sight, declares who I am. Whatever they do and whatever they offer there is defiled. Now give careful thought to this from this day on. Consider how things were before one stone was laid on another in my temple. When anyone came to a heap of 20 measures, there were only 10. When anyone went to a wine vat to draw 50 measures, there were only 20. I struck all the work of your hands with blight, mildew, and hail, yet you did not return to me, declares who I am. From this day on, from this 24th day on the 9th month, give careful thought to the day when the foundation of the Lord was laid. Give careful thought. Is there yet any seed left in the barn until now? The vine and the fig tree, the pomegranate and the olive tree have not borne fruit. Not a single one of them have been able to get the Messiah to return, right? And they are playing in circles in cosplay land for thousands of years, murdering people for no reason. From this day on, I will bless you. Zerubbabel, the Lord's signet ring. The word of who I am came to Haggai for a second time on the 24th day of the month. Tell Zerubbabel, governor of Judah, that I am going to shake the heart and the flesh. I will overturn royal thrones and shatter the power of the foreign kingdoms. I will overthrow the chariots and their drivers. Horses and their riders will fall. Each of these fake false prophets and liars and just buffoons out there everywhere, each by the word of his brother. On that day, declares who I am, I will take you, my servant Zerubbabel, son of Shealtiel, declares who I am, and I will make you like my signet ring, for I have chosen you, declares who I am. All right. So, yeah, just a little bit of the words, and I hope that can be helpful and edify to you guys and kind of open you guys up to what's going on. I do want to read Joel eventually one day, but maybe later. But yeah, so stay blessed, and I hope this can be a peaceful transfer and not a hostile takeover. Because Uncle Scar Netanyahu about to fuck around and find out.